Hafide and welcome to My Story. I'm your host, Janella Carrera. We now bring you to the second part of our two-part episode for cancer survivor Retta Sue Hamilton. It's the first time we've ever split one interview into two episodes, and that's because of how much information we felt we needed for you to hear about. In our last episode, we got to know Retta Sue and learn about her cancer diagnosis. In this episode, we talk a little bit more about her holistic approach to healing, and we also take a field trip to the Amit Farm, where she got her medicinal and herbal teas from. We'll be right back. Hafide and welcome back. I'm Janella Carrera, your host for My Story. In our new episode, we are welcoming back a guest that we had in our last episode, Miss Retta Sue Hamilton. Thank you once again for being here and for this extended stay so we can talk about some really great things that you've done and achieved in terms of surviving cancer. So just to kind of recap, in the last episode we talked about your cancer diagnosis, how you went in for your very first mammogram and they found something but determined that it was folded tissue. Correct. But then 10 months later, there was a lump and they determined it was cancer. Correct. Okay, and then you had it surgically removed, and now we're kind of talking about what treatment option you decided to go with. Yes. The typical route, as we all know, is chemotherapy, radiation therapy. That's what a lot of people go through, and that's what doctors typically recommend if they find that that's what they need. But you decided to try something different. So tell us about that.
Well, that decision actually didn't come until like months later,
right?
Because I was going to go through chemotherapy, but as I was going through the ropes, the appointment, seeing a primary, by this time I was already in Seattle, so I had to start clean with the primary care physician. I brought all my medical records. Then I saw a naturopathic doctor who, because my goal was to see a naturopathic oncologist. And so the naturopathic doctor referred me to a naturopathic oncologist at Bastyr University.
They make those?
Yeah.
I know that you have naturopathic oncologists.
I know, it's crazy.
All right, well that's good to know.
And so I was just like, okay, I'm here and doing all this stuff. And then she kind of went away and I just stuck with my primary care physician, for just other preventative treatments. Then I was also referred to the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance. So like I was just trying to kill as many birds with one stone as possible and get as many answers. That's what I wanted. I wanted answers.
You wanted to know what options were out there for you.
I wanted to hear, for some reason I wanted to hear something different. I don't know why, but I wanted to see if there was something different, but at the end it was really they all spoke the same language. What I didn't understand, once I started studying more about cancer and metastasized cancer, is the dose of chemo. Because it was like the most potent dose of chemotherapy. Because they do give you informational sheets. So I would go home and actually look up all this information regarding these treatments. Coincidentally, I actually picked up and started this plant-based nutrition course when I was in Seattle.
When you were in Seattle? Okay.
Yeah, but I had put it off for like almost a year because I was so busy working here on Guam, and I just kept changing my start date. So I said, I could start taking this class right now. I'm not working. I'm sitting in the basement of my sister's room, and it was a plant-based nutrition course through Cornell University. And Dr. T. Colin Campbell, he's the author of the China Study. Okay. So, and I remember reading something in that book.
I think I've seen that book. It's come across me when I was young. I remember that it was a China-based way to, perceive or approach cancer.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow this guy, because he helped me with my cholesterol, and maybe he'll help me with my cancer. So I did, but it's amazing. I saved all the modules. I want to share this with the world. So it's weird. I just took the course, and it armed me with information before I saw the doctors. And so it created a dialogue for me to ask the doctors, and I had my own checklist, because they had a checklist. I was tired of being part of somebody's tick mark, you know? So I said, but when they didn't answer all the questions, I felt like, that's when I fell into depression. That's when I said, I don't want to live anymore. Like literally, I was like, I'm done. I tried everything. I came this far. I don't want to do chemotherapy. It doesn't make sense to me. What do I do? Where do I go now? Like, and then finally I said, let me just go see one more oncologist, you know? I did see a fertility specialist there also, you know, and I was preparing to go through chemo. So I wanted like my eggs to be saved, you know, or something. And, but they're like, oh, you're too old, you know, for that. And I mean, just really, really awful. I was hitting brick walls. So the last oncologist I saw, was, coincidentally, her name's also Dr. Ellis. She was retiring in a month. She was 70 years old.
Lucky you.
Yes, but I don't know if her retirement had anything to do with what she shared with me. But when I asked her, I said, why are they giving me the most potent dose of chemotherapy? I don't get it. She said, well, because you're young and your body can handle it. I was like, who makes that decision? I mean, like, you're gonna make that decision for me? Like, that's not fair that you're gonna make that decision for me because I'm young and my body can handle it. No, that didn't fly with me. But because I learned so much more from this plant-based nutrition course, I said no. So I called a friend of mine here on Guam, and she was the only one I could speak to at that time that understood where I was coming from. And we both are connected spiritually and holistically. And she actually recommended a place in San Diego, and I said, okay, I gotta go there. You know, so I ended up trying to, using all whatever money I had left to go to that place to just experience a complete detoxifying, intense detox session. And when I got my tumor marker level and I saw that it was down here, and I've said this a few times, it's like, once you understand like the range, I tell people to understand their blood work. Understand what the range, the values, and then zoom in on that and say, what can I do to fix this?
Bring it
down
level.
to a good level. But they low to high, and I was down here. But they wanted to give me the most potent dose of chemo, so I'm just like, I'm gonna kill this with nutrition. And that was my decision, and I say it like that all the time. I clap my hands actually all the time because I was that determined. And I said, I'm going back to Guam. So I arrived back on Guam and embraced my job at the Ahmet Farm. I was welcomed back in there, and I had a whole new purpose. I just didn't know.
How great is it that you had access? You were working for the Ahmet Farm, and you were on a course of using a natural approach to healing yourself. Yeah,
I thought it was just really crazy, kind of serendipitous, and you know, especially being around healers, and you know, I mean, between the Ahmet Farm and the Gumadzo Amti at the Sagan Kuturan Chamorro, and just all the other healers that are not in an actual you know, like dwelling, that, you know, they practice from their homes. I know of them, and I work with all of them. So it's just a circle of healers, and I don't have any preferences or favorites. I just go to the one that I feel could help me with whatever it is I needed. Yes, but yes, it was tremendously great working at the Ahmet Farm. It definitely emphasized the mind connection to healing, and which I feel is very important, and more people need to really tap into that strength.
Is the mind. The mind plays a huge role in overcoming.
It's so huge.
The physical aspects.
So, you know, I was like, okay, I'm using my mind to manifest this or to do that. Let me use my mind to manifest all this stuff, you know, but it gets overwhelming and tiring. But seriously speaking, it was just a great place to be, to recharge and reconnect and just be at one with your spirit, and it helped me. I needed that pace, I guess. So I've become accustomed to that pace, and I just recently resigned so that I could now start, you know, earning a more sustainable income. But then I realized that with that comes stress, you know. So I'm like, but you know,
work-life balance.
It's really interesting, but you know, I know that the answers will come to me because my mind doesn't stop. And I owe my mind, you know, like to just bring all these things and information, you know, to me, crossing my eyes, experimenting on myself before I come out and go public, you know, on my social media page, like, this works, you know. So it's been just a self-experiment.
Tell us about some of the things that you use.
Well, meal replacements, first of all. So while you're trying to figure out, because I don't have well, now I have a garden, but I didn't have a garden at that time. And just being able to have access to all that stuff was hard. It's hard, and it's very expensive.
It is very hard and expensive.
And Farm to Table has an awesome program here that I still haven't been able to subscribe to. But I've worked with Mel, you know, from Farm to Table, but I find these farmers, when they set up their pop-up booths, I'll go there and I'll get whatever it is I felt I needed for the week there. But the meal replacements, vegan meal replacements really helped, because I'm at least nourishing myself with something wholesome and good while I'm figuring out all the other stuff. You know what I mean? And then salads.
So you went vegan?
No, I haven't completely gone
Not
completely.
okay.
Yeah, but so I try not to relate to any, you know, like vegetarian, pescatarian. For a while there, I was like, I'm pescatarian. I was like, I don't like the sound of that. You know, I was just like, don't touch my fish, you know? And when I started to do my studies, then we got to fish. And I'm like, please don't
touch my fish.
Don't go to fish.
That's all I have
That's
left.
all I have
as far
left.
as meat.
Yeah. You know,
The same
and
way.
but the sad reality is our ocean's affected.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So, you know, it's everything that I do, I'm actually an activist in my own way. And so if people try to, they get so confused. They're like, wow, Retta, you do so much. I said, because all of these things matter. The protection of our land matters, you know, from any type of destruction or contamination out to the oceans. But I'm not like in the front lines, you know, so, but sometimes I want to be in the front lines, you know, and I want to just scream it from the pit of my stomach. And our soil matters, you know, because they're depleted of nutrients right now. I mean, it's crazy. Natural destruction. Well, what causes that? Human destruction causes, you know, natural disasters. You know, I mean, our earth is hot right now. So what can we do to stop that? So it's like
it all plays.
It collectively,
plays a role in
so even if you have a nice garden, if a super typhoon comes through, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, speaking of gardens, we're going to take a little field trip today. We're going to do a little something different in this episode. We're going to go out magically. We're going to appear somewhere else when we come back from the break. We're going to visit the Amit farm so that we can take a look at some of the things that they have to offer. And Retta's going to take us on a little bit of a tour there. So we'll be right back right after this. Hafa and welcome back to My Story. Again, I'm your host, Janella Carrera, and magically we appear on location. We're here at the Amit farm, and today we'll be meeting and talking with Sayana Bernice Nelson. And of course, you remember Retta Sue Hamilton. So we're here to talk about some of the Amit that she produces here, and that you have actually used to help with you know, the cure for your cancer. So we're going to take a little tour of the place. 2 acres worth. 2 acres of land, so lots to cover, but we're going to go on our merry way and show you guys some of the plants, some of the amazing plants here that Sayana Bernice cultivates. So come join us. Let's go.
Okay. Is that okay now? This garden in itself is actually a gem right out here in Dedido, and I really promote it as much as I can possibly promote it. Just being out here, actually exposed to the elements.
It's amazing.
I wish I was telling them that they should get in touch with their senses, you know? I mean, all 5 senses.
All 5 senses.
Yes, but for cancer patients in particular, we need vitamin D, and vitamin D is very important, of course, in its most natural form. And so just being outdoors is actually very critical and important to that particular vitamin. over supplementing, but if of course we're lacking in that, then we supplement.
Right.
Believe it or not, this is just actually very stress relieving to
It
be
is.
out
It's
here.
very serene.
It's very
I
serene
can
and-
feel like just how peaceful and calm it is.
Yes,
here.
you could just be out here.
You could just be out here
Yes,
and
I like to point that
feel
out
the,
also.
The
Yes,
stress
yes.
just leave your body.
Yes, exactly. And that's something that we also promote out here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as actual teas that she has made for me, I just when I worked here, she would just make it and I would drink it. I just never asked any questions.
Right. Like
and
which
usually
medicinal
healers,
plants?
yes, usually healers from a world plant perspective. I personally like lemongrass. It's a very good antioxidant. It's a good cleanser. It's actually also good for cancer. She has made other teas that I don't have the recipe for, but whenever I need
that's
it.
kind of like her expertise,
Yes.
right?
Yes, she
As-
does that, but she'll only do it for certain people. She doesn't really make it anymore. So this is just one element of just the whole holistic approach. There are other organizations here on island, like the Sagan Couture in Chamorro, the Gumazo Amti. There are also traditional healers there that also make these like
teas.
teas,
I
yeah,
see.
for illnesses and sickness, and it's I go up there also.
And so she can curate, the combination of the tea. I mean, she can decide based on the condition, or any, healer, traditional healer can decide based on the condition or ailment, what types of leaves and medicinal plants to mix into this tea, and it would
Yes.
be kind of like unique to this individual.
Correct,
or-
correct.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's amazing. It's an untouched area. A lot of unfortunately it doesn't get enough attention.
Yes, very true.
But a lot of our medicine, the medicine of today, they're made from plants.
Yeah, and- right.
and then synthetic components are added to it. So
but
to
this is
try to-
as natural as you can get.
yes, and her she uses the organic method also when she grows here. And plants provide oxygen, and
yes.
cancer can't thrive in a oxygenated
Right.
body. So more reason to be out here around plants.
Yeah, yeah.
Inhale all the pure oxygen that it's given us. She doesn't use any pesticides. So and then a lot of these can actually be eaten like right off the.
Really? Oh, I want to try. Can I
You can put in salads.
Can I
Yeah,
try?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll try that out. Nice.
I know.
Wow.
And then I laugh at a lot of people. We had some volunteers actually when I was here that they brought their own aloe vera drink from the store, and I was like, oh my gosh, let's go make
Let's
this some
just make it right now.
And actually, aloe vera is also good for
Yes,
cancer.
yes.
So I actually scoop what I have and I put it in my smoothies. You don't taste the bitterness or anything
Right.
like that. She comes out every morning, like just in my experience. You feel that sun? That sun feels
Yeah.
so good. So just in my experience being here, she'll walk around with a little jar and actually pick off all the slugs that are eating the plants.
Wow.
I never did that.
Wow.
I never did that when I was here, but I would just see it in the
It's
jars.
like a labor of love.
Yeah, she would come out like at 5 a.m. and just
Wow.
check on the plants, talk to the plants, and
That's amazing.
yeah, it's really, really, truly amazing.
She really connects, it's like her family,
I'm an advocate for these methods, and they can integrate it. I'm not saying that the conventional system is basically. I'm not saying I'm not going to die.
Right.
We're all destined to go in this
Right, of
lifetime,
course.
so I'm just saying I want to live.
Yeah, and
and
offer an alternative, for those who may want to try something different. you know?
correct, and it's our choice.
Exactly.
Give us options.
It's the patient. who
Yeah,
should
give
be
us
able to
options
decide.
is what I'm really trying to get at. So yeah, these are her babies, and she always tends to them. And when they fruit, oh my gosh, she makes the best mulberry jam. I just love it so much. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Right here. Here's one.
Oh, you can eat that too. Almost looks like her pendant. No. Sorry.
Oh, yummy.
Right? So I like to crack a joke that when people go on tours with her, I'm actually not the best tour person, to be honest with you. They kind of
Here's one.
detox. They detox while
While
she'll
they're
make
here.
she'll make
Yeah.
them eat everything while you're out there,
That is really good.
right?
Yeah. Sorry, I just need one more. I just want one more.
She's hungry today.
I haven't had breakfast.
She hasn't had breakfast. See, so imagine just eating right off your tree.
Right here.
And no pesticides.
Bam.
No
Amazing.
pesticides, see?
Mm.
That's the one thing, and so our soil is very important. I don't know if she has any strawberries out right now, but strawberries do grow.
Wait, she has strawberries?
Yeah, these are the strawberries right here.
Oh, wow.
Let's
How's
see
she
if we
able to grow them?
She just grows them, but it depends. They don't like, let me see if I could find one.
Maybe it has
if
to
you're
be
lucky,
a certain season, right?
No, for some reason.
They do grow.
They do grow.
How large do they get?
A good size.
size? Oh,
yeah, she
wow.
actually, if you visit the Facebook page, you'll see,
How the strawberries look?
yes.
Okay, okay, we'll
Sometimes
look for
there's
it.
one hiding.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know, strawberries do grow.
I never imagined strawberries growing in Guam.
I know.
Oh yeah, I got bit by an ant.
Oh, red ant?
Yeah.
Okay, so we could put something on that.
Yeah,
oh,
maybe.
That's like very painful.
Right here.
We get them to harvest something for your
Yeah,
foot.
I can actually see the little. There's a bite there and then a bite
They
here.
got you. Yeah, they got me right there too. Sorry. But there's more.
Occupational hazard.
Yeah, there is. Yes, it is. It is actually.
Oh, it's so itchy. It feels
Okay,
so
hold
good
on.
to scratch it.
Okay. That's with the turmeric, Nana? Yeah. That is it.
And right here too. I think there were 2 ants that I saw.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, so they really got you.
yeah.
Really, in closing, gosh, I don't want to forget. I just want to promote a lot of these alternative and holistic organizations here on island that we actually have available, but everything, because data is connected to a lot of it. I think that's the next step here at the farm is to, while there is data collected on the number of visitors that come here, whether for consultation or just a tour, I think they want to take it to the next level to where she's actually going to be hosting workshops
Wonderful.
to educate more people and empower people to actually take their health in their own hands also. And then seek a traditional healer as needed.
Yeah, there's so very few of them left. Well, Retta, thank you so much for this amazing tour. I think maybe when I was younger, like in elementary school, we might have done like a tour here or there, but you're young, you don't really retain that information.
Yes, yeah.
So this is technically really my first immersive experience in this, and so it's really great. I encourage everybody to come out here and take a tour of this place, learn, get to feel the natural environment, meet this amazing Sienna Bernice,
yes.
and just learn about the labor of love that she puts into this place.
And it's healing, it's amazing healing properties,
Yeah.
even without having to, like I said, to ingest the plant.
Welcome back. Thank you so much again for joining us for this episode. We hope you were just as immersed as we were during our tour of the Amit Farm in Dedido. If you would like to learn more about what they offer, you can visit their Facebook page by searching Amit Farm Guam. From all of us here at My Story, happy holidays, and we'll see you next year.